Welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Tier 2 Japanese medium tank, the Chi-Ni. Well, is it any good? No, it ain't. It's not good. I'll quickly tell you why it's not good. The gun has poor penetration, so you have no more penetration than you had at Tier 1, and the armor is worse than the Tier 1 tank. So a combination of poor pen and poor armor make this tank pretty much useless in most encounters. Okay, now let me get into the actual review. Some of you have probably switched off already, but I'll tell you why. Good to know if you're fighting against this tank anyway. Has 190 hit points, which is actually quite healthy. 10 to 12 ton, has 135 horsepower, 30 kilometers an hour, which is quite respectable for a medium tank. 38 traverse speed, which is very good for a medium tank. The armor I'll talk about in a second. The turret traverse is 30, which is quite good. View range 300 and signal range 425, quite respectable for a tank of this tier. That all sounds pretty good. However, let's talk about the armor. We have 25 mils on the front, only 12 mils on the side, and 10 mils on the rear. Now I don't care about the rear, but the front and the side I really do care about. That's a serious downgrade in armor. The Otsu, which was the Tier 1 light tank, had 30 mils on the front and 30 mils on the side. So we upgrade to a Tier 2 medium and we get 5 mils less on the front, and it goes from 30 mils to 12 mils on the side. What the hell? Even the rear on the Otsu is 22, I think, and this thing it's 10. So the hull armor is trash. You're now also facing Tier 2 and Tier 3 tanks. They will tear you a new one. The Panzer 1C, those guys are just going out and getting top guns because everyone's driving these tanks. They're just driving around. Every single shot they fire in their rapid fire cannons penetrates these tanks. And my gun, my top gun, will not penetrate the Panzer 1C at all. I've tried shooting from every angle I possibly can and I can't penetrate them. Plus they're faster. So yeah, not good. The turret armor is actually better than the Otsu. It has a better turret. So the frontal armor is 30 and it's 20 on the sides, 20 on the rear. Whereas the Otsu had 20 all around. Now also it gets rid of the terrible cupola that the Otsu had. So that weakness is gone. This is actually an excellent looking cupola. So in theory you could probably hill fight in this one. So keep your hull completely covered and just pop your turret over. However, with the turret so far back from the front and not very heavy sloping on the front, I think you will need to expose too much of your hull to get your turret pointing at your enemy. So I don't think it will work as a hill fighter, even though it does have good gun depression. I think it has at least 10 degrees. I'm not sure yet, but it is good gun depression. Now on the front, apart from having low armor, the front section here is virtually flat. We have the driver's port, machine gun. It's got weaknesses all over the front of the tank. I did accidentally forget I was in this tank, thought I was in the Tier 1, and I angled quite heavily like that, and they just blasted through my side without even looking. So you don't angle this tank any more than about that, or you'll just get penetrated in the side. It's very weak on the side. Now the gun, well, let's have a look at the gun selection. I'll have a look at that in the research tree. You've got two guns and you could really choose to use either one. They both have their merits. So this 37mm here on the left is the one that you had in the Otsu. However, it functions quite a bit better when it's in this tank. So the rate of fire goes up from 17 point something to 26, which is very fast. The penetration and damage stay the same, so it's 32 pen, 45 damage. The accuracy goes from 0.5 to 0.45, which is a big improvement. The aiming time goes from 2.3, which I thought was quite slow in the O2, to 1.9, which is quite respectable. It's quite good actually. So the gun does improve a lot. However, it still only has the 32 degrees of penetration, and I found a lot of tanks I was still bouncing off, couldn't penetrate them. But the Top Gun is even worse. It only has 29 penetration, so actually go backward 3 mils. However, it does 75 hit points of damage. So it does do quite a bit more damage. So if you do penetrate them, you come across a tank with weak armor and you can penetrate them, you'll do quite a bit more damage. Has a rate of fire of 17.65, which is still very good. Accuracy of 0.5 is not real good, and aiming time of 2.1 didn't feel that bad. It seemed okay. However, the 29 penetration, I ended up using the 37mm for a while. Then I switched to the 5.7 because even with the 32 penetration, I still wasn't penetrating at anyone. Anyway, so the 29, at least the same tanks I was penetrating with the 32, I will penetrate with the 29. But I'm going to do more damage, so that's why I ended up going with this gun. But there are reasons, I suppose, you could decide to go with the 37mm. The premium ammo, however, gives you 55mm of penetration. So if you were willing to spend the money and use premium, I didn't in any of my games, but it would probably be okay then. You would get good penetration out of this gun. Alright, let's go about camouflage-wise. We don't have any official stats for this tank on camouflage. But I'm guessing it's not great. I would say, not as good as the light tanks, obviously. And for a medium tank, it's probably, for tier 2, it's probably sort of average to not that great. So yeah, look, not a good tank. But let's have a look at some gameplay anyway, so we can learn a bit more about it. Okay, the game has just started. We're in the Chi-Ni tier 2. It's a tier 3 match. As you can see, the majority of the tanks are tier 3s. There is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tier 2s on each side. All the rest are tier 3s. So very tough matchup. But I thought I'd show you this so you can see how the tank goes against tier 3s. It'd be good to see. I decided not to go up the hill because I have tried that a couple of times against tier 3s and I just get instantly killed. As soon as they see you, they shoot you, and you just, your armor does nothing, and you can't really return fire. So I decided if I hide and do some sniping, I might be able to get at least a couple of hits. But 0.5 accuracy and a very poor shell velocity. You can see the shells are going very high to get to the target. Makes it really difficult, unless they're completely stationary. Very difficult to hit anybody.
We didn't even scratch them.
So we did hit that guy, but didn't penetrate. Now that apparently with this 8.10 we're supposed to be able to shoot through cover now, so I'm reckoning that fence we should be able to shoot straight through it into him. So I'm not too worried if I don't see him behind the fence. I'm just shooting anyway. Just guessing now.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
And we got him and killed him. So that's a bit lucky. Just guessing. So what I'm trying to do now is shoot at where I think they're going to end up, because shooting at them is just not working because they're moving around and the shell takes so long to get there, and with 0.5 accuracy, I'm just not having much luck. So someone's shooting at me. I don't know if they're just guessing there's someone there, or whether they're seeing my shells and know that I'm around this vicinity. I'm not sure, but a few shots are landing near me.
Didn't go through.
So there we have a shot straight into that Chi-Ha, but we can't penetrate. So the Chi-Ha is the tier 3 medium. So that's the tank I'll be reviewing after this one. Once I get it, of course. I might speed it up here a little bit. So you've seen how poor it is at long range shooting, and you've seen the poor pen from distance. Look at the cloud moving. That is awesome. You can see the cloud shadows moving on the ground. How good is that? You don't notice it in real time, but okay, now there's a tank coming in, so I decided, actually I saw the tank on the side, I went to get that, but then I saw this one coming across the field. So I do what is a good thing for this tank, is that covering the hull and just leaving the turret exposed is probably a strong point for this tank.
We didn't even scratch them.
But you can see there, shot straight into him, didn't penetrate the tier 3 medium. So I'm hoping their armor is good, because I couldn't penetrate him. But it could be just that my gun's so terrible. I don't know yet. So I've got a little bit stuck in here and couldn't figure out if I was going forward or backwards there for a minute. So I'm trying to come around here and help out this other Chi-Ha, but I'm too late. So I'm going to use him as cover. Just expose my turret. Now I can't go out in the open because I'll get shot from all these guys across the field there I'm lit up with all of them. Just trying to get a shot at one of them while I'm waiting for this guy. I'm not going out there, that's for sure. He's looking for me to go back into the house, which I'm not going to do because I know he's waiting for me to do that. Here he comes. Well, you saw that went bang straight into the side of his tank and we got nothing. That one does go through. We do 72 damage. He's just penetrated me for 88. And my other shot bounced off him and yeah, nothing I could do. Alright, so not an exciting game, but it gives you an idea. Performs against tier 3s. So we did win the game. Yay! And you can see we got some shots into the Chiha and that Panzer. We managed to kill that long range blind shot. We only did 87 damage. But that was enough for us to finish in the top 5 for experience. But yeah, we didn't do much damage. We must have done a bit of spotting, I think, there near the end. Okay, and we fired 24 shots, 7 of them hit. Of the 7 that hit, 3 penetrated. So, you know, that's pretty damn poor. Damage 87, hits received 3. All 3 of the hits we received penetrated us. Enemies damaged 2, destroyed 1. And yeah, 55 spot damage. We received a bit of good coin. At least you make a bit of, most of what you earn is profit. But yeah, a bit of a dub one.
Time to roll out.
Alright, we're in the Chi-Ni. As you can see, there's a lot of Chi-Nis in this game. And a lot of Hargos as well. There's a few other tanks. This is a tier 2 game. So a bit easier for me. Now you can see the Hargo is quite a bit quicker. And since it has the same gun selection, and they both have terrible armor, the Hargo is probably a better tank at this tier. I use, you'll see in this game, I forget that I'm in the Chi-Ni, and I forget that I'm shooting at Chi-Nis. I still think I'm in the Otsu, and I aim for people's turrets, which is the wrong thing to do in the Chi-Ni. If you're against a Chi-Ni, you should aim at the hull. Whereas if you're against an Otsu, you should aim at the turret. And I keep thinking I'm fighting Otsus and I make a few mistakes. Now you can see there's a Chi-Ni, he's shooting HE at me. He did 4 damage, which means he hit quite a good part of my armor and I did 4 damage. I do get hit later by a Chi-Ni in a poor part of my armor, so probably in the side, and it does quite substantial damage. So the HE ammo is an option against other poorly armored tanks. So I think I hit the T2's tracks and he hits me, does 43 damage to me. He also gets my loader, my ammo rack, so I repaired it, used a repair kit. The shells just move too slow. It's very hard to predict the shots since they take so long to get there. It reminds me of the T-18 a little bit. The difference with the T-18 is you've got great armor, so you can drive right up to people and shoot them. You don't have to worry about the terrible accuracy and long trajectory. But with this gun, with this tank, you can't really get up close to your terrible armor. You can't snipe because you've got 0.5 accuracy and the shell takes forever to get there. Although we did get a hit in on that tank, as soon as I say that. I'm trying to do a bit of side scrapping now, which really is probably pointless because this tank has no side armor, but at least you get opportunistic shots like that, although someone else hit it just before me, which is a pity because tier 2 medium is a tank that I can probably penetrate. So it looks like we're doing very well in this game. Looks like we're going to win it. So I foolishly aimed his turret, but luckily it misses by a mile, hits him in the hull. So I didn't penetrate the L tractor there. Miss. So what it does here, it does pretty good damage, this gun, but it's just a matter of hitting. Can't see anymore and I'm not hitting him, so I go for the other one. We get a kill on that one. The other one is now dead, but I didn't realise, so I just keep shooting. Foolishly. Well, you know, I thought there was someone there. But he was already dead. So it's 10-6, we're winning quite convincingly. Okay, so we've got one guy up there behind that rock. We've got another guy over there. I don't think there's anyone at their base, so... And nobody has particularly long view range at this tier, so I decided to head out. You can see 2 on the right there and 1 on my left. Alright, here we go. Looks like a good shot we can get here. Nah, got to give more lead than that. And we've got to aim at the ground. Looks like we tracked him. Waiting for reload. Finally we get a hit. Now you see I lift up my gun and aim at his turret. If I had let the shot out of the body, I probably would have got the kill there. But I just kept forgetting. I thought I was shooting against Otsu still. Alright, so I'm aware that there's probably still this guy on my left. Our tank went up there to get him, but doesn't appear to have done anything with him. So I'm going to move up to this bush where hopefully I'm sort of hiding from both sides, from the guy in front of me and the guy on my left. And I'm waiting for one of them to hopefully drive in front of my gun. Can't see the guy in front of me, which I'm quite surprised at. I might need to move out further. Oh, there's a tank up there. Maybe he went up there. I don't know. Not willing to move out further at this stage. And then here's the other guy who was on my left, is now coming out, so he must have dispatched our other tank. I think he's spotted me now. He's quite clever. He gets a shot into me. I don't know how he hit me with that. Does 21 damage, so I probably hit my turret. Not a lot of damage.
We didn't even scratch them.
I bounce off him.
Hydraulics are down.
That shot got him. He did 102 damage to me with his HE that time, so.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
And he kills me. He plays a better game than I do. And he's on 4 kills, so he's doing pretty well. Alright, let's end it there. Well, we lost that game, unfortunately. It was a pretty close game. We hit quite a few tanks, though, so it was a good bit of fun. Let's have a look at the team score. So we finished on top for the team score for experience, and on top for damage as well, getting 2 kills. I think we hit a lot of tanks rather than actually got multiple shots into tanks to get kills, but we did a bit of damage. The best tank on our side was this Panzer II. He did a lot of damage, 5 kills, and then the Chini that killed me did 500 damage with 4 kills. So, yep, pretty good. Now, shots fired 25, direct hits 13. So the shots at range rarely hit. Out of 13 that were direct hits, 8 penetrated because I foolishly was shooting people in the turret. Damage we did 410, hits received 6, they all penetrated. So once again, the armor is trash on this thing, as long as you avoid the 30 mils at the front of the turret. Potential damage received 515, and we spotted 1, damaged 7 tanks, which is quite good, and destroyed 2 of them. Did a bit of spotting damage, and we made good profit. Do make good profit in this tank, even though I used a repair kit, you still make good profit. So, yeah. So, thank you for watching my review of the Chini, or Chinai, I don't know what it is, I think it's Chini. If you want to see more reviews of these Japanese tanks, I'm going to try and drive every single one of them up to tier 10. Please subscribe to ReginaldESQ and you'll be notified when they pop up. If you did like the review, please give it a thumbs up. And until you see the next review, have fun.